We are at Adams Field once again for the varsity soccer matchup. Tonight, it's the Deerfield Warriors hosting the Warren Blue Devils in a non-conference matchup. Taking a look at the starters, starting with Warren. Goalkeeper, number 0, Emma Megerly. Junior, number 4, Ava Denapoli. Junior, number 6, Reese Mertens. Sophomore number 7, Sophia Ogren. Sophomore number 8, Addison Stansiak. Sophomore number 11, Arlie Melchor. Freshman number 12, Kate Mondahar. Sophomore number 13, Angelica Amiskita. Senior number 15, Paige Hogberg. Junior number 17, Mia Gloria. And sophomore number 18, Maya Martinek. This team is head coached by Ryan McCabe, assistant coached by Heather Crawford and Jason Ohonen, and the managers Daniela Bernal Polito and Giselle Cochin. Now we look at the home team Deerfield. Starters, goalkeeper number 1, Lauren Gottlieb. Number 5, Dara Carson. Number 6, captain Marissa Siciliano. Number 8, captain Emily Fox. Number 9, Katie Dennison. Number 13, Ryan Emery. Number 14, Captain Jesse Fisher. Number 17, Sophia Pizer. Number 23, Maddie Stevens. Number 24, Natalia Munoz. And number 25, Cassidy Storman. This team is head coached by Rich Grady, assistant by Ryan Crane and AJ Simo. Welcome to the Varsity Soccer Broadcast. I'm your play-by-play broadcaster, Dylan Traeger, joined by color commentator Dylan Zuber. Dylan, let's have a great game today.
Yeah, let's have a good one. You know, both of these teams, very, very talented soccer teams. Deerfield comes into the night's matchup 13-5-2 with a 4-0-1 record in conference, already clinching the conference CSL North for very, very long. Very, very talented team is here. First shot, no good for the Warriors. Shot there by Emily Fox, one of the few captains for the Warriors. But going back, Deerfield scores a lot of goals there. They've given up only 25. That's a credit to goalie Lauren Gottlieb. And they've scored 54. So they're, on average, outscoring their opponents by more than 2 goals a game. And for Warren, also stellar defense, only giving up 20 goals. But not as good as a high-power offense as for Warren as Deerfield has. They've only outscored opponents 32-20. So that's really something to look at. Warren coming in 9-4-3 with a 4-2-1 record in conference. Warren playing in a different conference than Deerfield, obviously, so it's going to be different opponents, so you can't really match up mutual opponents on how they've played. But should be a good one here. There's a lot of high-talent soccer on the plane for tonight.
And, you know, taking a look at the records on Max Preps, I would say Deerfield is at an advantage here. This girls soccer program is phenomenal year in and year out. The program with Pegasus is tremendous. The coaches are great. But taking a look at the numbers and the statistics, Deerfield is 7-3-1 at home. A strength of theirs is definitely playing under the lights of Adams. While for Warren, they are 2-4-3 on the road. While they are on a 3-game win streak, Warren, they definitely struggle on the road. And you just look at the recent games, they haven't been doing great on the road. And this is a very strong Deerfield team. I don't see any reason why this Deerfield team can't come out with a win. What do you think about that, Dylan?
Yeah, I think that too. But Warren, they're going to be coming into this game riding high. They haven't lost in their last 6 matches. They played Minoka on the 23rd. They beat them 3-1. They beat Lake Zurich 2-1 on the 25th. Mundelein, they tied 1-1 on the 27th. And then in the month of May, they beat Waukegan 6-0. Lake Forest 2-0 at Lake Forest. And they beat Zion Benton 7-0 at home on Monday. So they're riding high. Deerfield coming into this. Played Grant yesterday, beat them 7-0. Played Evanston on Tuesday, lost 5-0 at Evanston. And on Thursday, last Thursday, about 8 days ago, lost to GBN here at home after clinching the conference the day before against rival Highland Park, beating them 3-1. So a little bit of different here emotions. Like I said, Warren riding high, haven't lost the game in the month of May, and about last few weeks, Deerfield really not going to let the last few games bother them as they're going to go out here and kind of compete from the start to finish, try and walk out away with the win today.
So, Dylan, I want to mention that looking forward down the road, Deerfield High School is hosting the soccer girls varsity sectionals Tuesday the 23rd and Friday the 26th. If Deerfield can make it to sectionals and have home field, or at least have their home field, it would be a neutral site, but have to play at their home field, how much of a benefit do you think that would be? Having the fans being at your home field as the neutral site, what do you think will come out of this?
I mean, I think obviously you being an athlete, you know how much home field means to these players. Also, playing, like you said, at their home school, they know that obviously the dimensions of the soccer fields are all the same, but there's just different feel for some of the spots in the field, and they know what to expect when a ball goes here let's say it goes to one place at a different field that rolls different. This is also turf, so it's going to be nice. Deerfield, always really, really nice backdrops and everything, so that's also a plus, and they know what they're going to get day in and day out with fans and things like that, so I think it would really, really help. As you said earlier, they are 7-3-1 at home, so they're very comfortable playing here at Adams Field. And hoping they do get 2 sectionals should be a big key in this one, as they only host sectionals because of their great success last year, making it to, I believe, top 4 in the state, if not the super sectionals. Looking to go back again to there with a very good talented roster here this year as well.
As here we are, score is still shutout 0-0. 35 minutes to go in the first half of play here, as that score update is brought to you by Academic Approach for all your academic needs. From a scoring aspect, Dylan, what do you think scoring is going to look like for both sides?
I think Deerfield it's gonna be a challenge. I think the really challenge is gonna be how does Warren, with their spectacular defense, really stop the high-scoring offense of the Warriors? Because you look at it, the goals allowed for Deerfield and the goals scored for Warren kind of line up. Deerfield's given up 25, Warren has scored 32. Obviously, there's a little bit of leeway here and there. But then you look at the Deerfield goals scored and the Warren goals given up, and that's really the big difference in this one. Deerfield has scored 54 goals. Warren has given up 20. So obviously one of these sides is going to have to give. And me hoping it's Warren's defense gives up a couple of goals to Deerfield. They can get up early and then play their soccer. But who really knows on this Friday night, Deerfield versus Warren for a non-conference soccer matchup.
And, I would add on to that, which I agree with all that you said. I would also add on, these are 2 teams that their defense and their goalies are some of their strengths of their team along with the offense. But keeping an eye on the defense, Deerfield only allowing 25 goals this season, while Warren only allowing 20. These are 2 very strong teams on the defensive side, but Deerfield definitely has an advantage on their offense. They've scored well over 20 more goals than this Warren team has this season, and you already see getting started, Deerfield looks a little bit more flashier on the offensive side, but I would say this is a big goalie matchup here. You take a look at Deerfield for goalie Lauren Gottlieb, a junior. She's a 2-sport athlete for Deerfield, playing soccer and basketball. Just a really athletic girl on the field. She was the varsity goalie last year as well. But definitely having an advantage to have a girl who's been in goalie for a few years, a lot of experience. It's a tough sport to play, especially when you're in goalie. I think goalie can be one of the hardest positions in soccer. What do you think is the hardest position?
I think it is goalie. I mean, you look at some of these people. Obviously, this is not the World Cup, but these shots are not coming in easy, and they do have a lot of spin to them. So you really got to be able to read the spin of the ball while also quickly reacting. And like you said, she plays basketball, so that helps, and she is very athletic. But like you said, 2-sport athlete, one of, I believe, few 2-sport athletes on this team. But like you said, being a goalie in soccer is one of, if not the hardest position, because you have to always be on your toes. And yes, while the ball sometimes is on the opponent's side, one kick, and next thing you know, you could have 4 opponents rushing you, and it could be a 1-on-4, a 1-on-3, something like that. And you always have to be watching, because that goal is a very big goal. It may not look big, but it's a very big goal, and it's a lot of ground to cover.
I would also take a look at how many players each team carries. You look at Deerfield, looks like they got about 4 coaches on their team and at least 10 or 12 people standing on their sideline. And taking a look at Warren, they've got, looks like to be 2 or 3 coaches along with, 10 or 12 people on the sideline. As there's a Big kick for Warren. That's Paige Hoiberg. Taking a look at the scoreboard. 31 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock for the first half of play. Deerfield, 2 shots and 2 saves. Warren, 2 shots and 2 saves. That scoreboard update's brought to you by Anticol and Seed.
You know, I think something key in this game is going to be the number of corner kicks each team gets. Because obviously more corner kicks means more opportunities to score. And a lot of soccer fans, I mean, I could be wrong, but some soccer fans know that when you get a lot more corner kicks usually means something is going right on the offensive side and you're able to get more grade A opportunities.
And I would also add, as there's a nasty fall in the corner for Deerfield.
Cassidy Stormo tripped there.
I would also add what I'm noticing in this first 10 minutes of play is how much more offensive position Warren has. You saw a little bit of Deerfield the ball at the beginning after winning the face-off, but it's really been all Warren on offensive side, and I wish a stat we could have access to is
time of possession.
Time of possession on offense. That's definitely something you see, in football, lacrosse, but I'd love to have that stat available to us throughout high school athletics. As here's Warren once again taking the ball away from Deerfield. For Deerfield, it's Emily Fox, the captain, mid-junior, losing the ball at half field at the 40. But you've just seen this Warren team, I'd say out of the 10 minutes played, they've had possession for at least 8 of it.
Yeah, I think that's a very true statement. I think, like you said, these first 10 minutes have been almost all Warren. And besides that, like you said, besides that opening chance in the beginning of the game, it has been all Warren. And Deerfield hasn't really been able to stop it. And besides that little push there by Emily Fox, that's only like the first or second time they've gotten the ball over the 50. Obviously, besides the besides the opening draw, where Deerfield was able to get possession and get 2 shots on him. Besides that, this game has been all Warren.
That's right, as we're already hitting that 11-minute mark, 29-30, and the score is still at double donuts, 0-0. As it's Deerfield taking the ball, first time in a ancient history that I can remember Deerfield having the ball in this game on the offensive side as they lose it over to Warren. It's Warren with the ball, and I think you can just really see a big skill of Warren is their offensive possession, and they're able to keep this ball on offense, and when they lose it, they're able to recover it pretty quickly as that ball is being turned over to Deerfield.
Out of bounds, and that is going to be Warrior ball, but back to Warren already, and every chance Deerfield gets, seems like it's going to be turnover waiting to happen. Poor pass. You know what that's? It's a sign of poor passing so far for the Warriors. Here, Emily Fox, though, on the push, trying to use her speed on the outside, gets the ball past the 10-yard line. Probably the second or third time they've gotten it there. Tries to center it back, but straight to a Warren person. Warriors get it back though.
And it is Deerfield with the ball still. And not a lot of Warren defenders out here. I'd like to see Deerfield make a push as Emily Fox is going to kick it right towards Warren.
Move.
As there's a shot from Emily Fox. Not a goal. Looked like almost like a field goal. As you got your
just a bit high.
Little future Warrior running after that one. As here we are at the 28-minute mark.
It's been a fast 12 minutes today, so.
It has.
I mean, not much going on. Not much going on here. No injuries. I mean, you had that little fall altercation there in the corner in the first few minutes from Stormham. Besides that, it's pretty clean soccer.
Oh, definitely.
On the scoreboard, 1 foul apiece. So you're not really going to stop the game because of that. There hasn't really been a lot of out of bounces and no substitutions so far. So, I mean, it's been very clean soccer for the first 12 and a half, 13 minutes of this one. If you are Warren, you got to be happy with what you're doing right now. I mean, you're really controlling the tempo on offense. Deerfield gets the ball past about the 45-40 around that area, and their defense is just all over the Warriors, and they're really not. Getting a little aggressive there is Warren.
And something I want to add here is you can look at the benches for Warren and Deerfield. Well, everyone for Warren appears to be suited up and standing up. The entire Deerfield bench is seated, with a lot of the players not looking to be suited up. So I think that really tells you something about what's going on with this Deerfield team, that the starters are the players who are going to be getting the playing time here, and maybe some of the Deerfield players on the bench don't have their heads in the right mindset to play.
Yeah, I
What do
mean,
you think of that
you
when you
really
look at the
never know.
bench?
This is a non-conference game, so while it does mean a lot, you really don't know because this game is, yes, it looks good for the win-loss, but then again, it's not like if they lose this game, they're going to lose conference. So I really don't know. I mean, you want to go into every game like it's your last because you really never know. And this is a Deerfield team that only has, they have this game. They have Mather on the 16th, which is a neutral site playoff game. Don't really know what playoff it's for, but
Well, I think you also want to add Deerfield is one of the better teams in the state, and I think this game definitely determines a lot for them, from an aspect of moving up or not. Deerfield, according to Max Prep, is ranked at 63rd in the state with the 12-5-2 record. They have moved down 4 spots in the rankings, but 63rd in the state, you're definitely competing for a higher spot with a win against a tough Warren team,
yeah, going into that, Warren ranked, according to Max Preps as well, Warren
33rd.
ranked 33rd
So
in
it
the
definitely
state,
is a tough matchup. Not
and 29th in 3A with a very, very tough schedule. Strength rating of 14.1. And for those of you that don't know it, Max Preps has a thing where they put all the schedule into a number, and it's equation. It spits out a number. The higher the number, the more challenging your schedule is. So you want to have a higher strength of schedule. Warren with a 14.1, really helping their case.
And I also would add into this, too, you look at this Deerfield team last year. This is a team that went far in playoffs, as there's a save and net by Lauren Gottlieb for Deerfield. This is a team that went far in the playoffs for Deerfield and beyond the regular season. And, yes, a lot of the seniors left. This still is a very tough and competent team. I don't see any reason why this Deerfield team can't be competitive throughout the conference season and going forward.
Yeah, exactly. But banking off what we were talking about earlier, Deerfield, you have this game. You have Mather, which on Max Prep says a playoff game. I don't really know what playoff it would be. Maybe a little mid-season one-game tournament or something. But then, or it could be regionals. And then you have Vernon Hills at home both Tuesday and Thursday of next week, or of the week of the 23rd and the 26th. And then once that's over, then it's win or go home for regionals, sectionals, super sectionals, state, and hopefully the state championship. But I mean, you only have 4, probably maybe 7 guaranteed, whatever it is, how many games they play in the playoffs guaranteed. So you really want to go out there if you're a senior and play every game like it's their last.
As here's Deerfield taking possession at the 24-minute mark. It's Katie Dennison running the ball out of bounds as Warren is going to have a goal kick. And for Deerfield, it's Sarah Goldstone entering the game, making her first appearance. She's a mid and she's a senior for Deerfield.
Her brother, a former Deerfield baseball player in attendance today. He was, I believe, a shortstop. He was a key player on that Deerfield team that won the regional and almost won the sectional in, I believe, 2021. That was a very fun team to watch. Some of those players are now playing in college. Oh, nice move there by the Warriors.
And there's some great defense from Deerfield. Kicking the ball right out of trouble. And here's a breakaway for Deerfield. It's Emily Fox trying to make the first goal of the game. She puts up a shot, and that's through the uprights and just a bit high. 22:50 on the clock.
Something I noticed, I don't know if you caught on to it, but the first time that she went from that side, she kicked with her left foot. And this time she kicked with her right foot. So that's just something to keep an eye on, that she's able to shoot from both legs. I don't really know a lot about soccer, but I do know that if you can shoot from both legs, that's a very good plus, and that's very good down the road. Well, you'd be shooting from
your feet, not your legs.
Well, the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
You're using your right leg, you're using your left leg. It's the same thing.
So I think from when I used to play soccer, you are supposed to use both of your feet. There's a more dominant foot you have.
Well, yeah, but
there's Emily Fox with the ball. She kicks it in, and that is saved by the goalie.
And here comes a corner there for the Warriors.
What I do remember from when I played, usually me personally, I'm a righty, so my right foot was my stronger foot. you use your right foot more often for kicking the ball into the net, but for a pass, use more of your left foot. But once you get to a certain age, they try to start making sure you can be kind of ambidextrous in a way with being able to kick the ball with both feet.
Let's see what they try to do here off the corner, and they just clear it. Foot race to the ball, going to be won by Warren.
As here's the
Out of
21:30
bounds.
minute mark.
Out of bounds, Warrior ball. Thrown there by senior Sarah Goldstone. It's ball mid.
Did you ever have a little soccer career growing up? I know I did.
So it was actually pretty funny. I played soccer. So, my sister played soccer for a while.
I did not know.
She actually played soccer, I think, until she got to, high school maybe, or, 7th, 8th grade. So she played for a long time. So it's kind of in my family. I used to go to her games sometimes. That's actually, fun fact, that's actually where I learned how to do a behind-the-back dribble in basketball, but I was doing it with a soccer ball. So I played AYSO until they put goalies in, because people wanted me to be the goalie because I was always the bigger kid and I could just take up more space in the net. And I refused to be the goalie, so I didn't. As here's a great A chance for the Warriors. Kicks it right in. Field goal is good, but
That's a kick from
right
Dara
over
Carson.
that. Dara Carson, DSI. Remember?
Hey, great field spotter for DSI.
But
As
going
here's
back,
Simone Kriz, the mid-senior, coming into the game. But go ahead with your story.
I played up until AYSO got goalies, and a lot of the time what would happen is 1 year I'd be with one team, and the next year we'd be with the same team. The first year we would not do very good. The second year we wouldn't lose a game. And I think that happened. I played probably for 4 years. It happened twice. And then I went to Ojibwa, Camp Ojibwa for boys. And, that's a very, very competitive camp with soccer. So I was always one of the goalies for my team. Surprisingly enough, after I didn't want to be, I led my team to the championship game and then got a little cocky and gave up 4 goals in the first half. That was the last time I ever played goalie, and I really played soccer besides in gym class or something like that. What about you? You gotta pass the soccer, or what's up?
Yeah, I think I played AYSO until maybe 3rd grade. I played every sport growing up, but I definitely played AYSO until about 3rd grade. I was a defender. I played defense because I wasn't fast, but I had good leg power to kick the ball far. And
I was a midfielder offense. I could get the ball. I'm not fast either, but I was just good on offense.
No, so I definitely played defense, and my issue was I played too many sports, and I was kind of getting towards the age where I had to figure out what I wanted to keep doing and what I wanted to stop. So transition away from soccer, probably a better choice for me because I was not a great player.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think when I was in 7th grade, I believe that was my prime for the number of sports I played. And in the fall we got football for young warriors, and we got believe it or not, cross country. I ran cross country in the fall of 7th grade.
You're pretty slow last time I checked.
Yeah, my parents wanted me to run cross country, thought it would be good for football and just getting me more in shape. It was 7th grade at the time, so
How much did you hate that?
I mean, I hated it, but I will say my biggest flex is one of my last meets. I did break my mile time of 7:45, which I know not very good, but it was good for me at the time. So I did that, and then in the winter, I played intramural basketball. I did wrestling. I think I did one other sport. I don't remember if I did any other sports. I had baseball training, and then in the spring, I ran track. I was told to do shot put because I throw a baseball, so that would be pretty good. First time I did shot put, did not go so well with my shoulder last time doing that. Ran the 400 and the 200. I actually won a race, believe it or not. I think I won a 200 race. And I played baseball, so I think I was at 6 or 7 sports in 7th grade. Oh!
As there's a shot way high and out of bounds. That's from Deerfield, Sarah Goldstone. Looks like that's going to be her first shot of the game. Taking a look at the scoreboard, Deerfield 0 to Warren 0. 17 minutes in the first half. This half is flying by. Still Shutout, both sides. Not too many shots on goal for either side. Looking at 4 shots from Deerfield against 3 shots from Warren. As right now it's Warren with possession. Everyone hustling back. Guarding Warren is Dara Carson. As that ball rolls away, and that is saved from Warren. There's a shot on goal, and that's going to go way out of bounds. Shot by Warren. That ball is going to be shot by Yasmin Lenzi. 16:30 to go in the first half of play. As this is actually my first time doing soccer in this season. I did a lot of soccer last year for men's and women's, but this is my first soccer game for DSI in the spring this year. As we approach the 16-minute mark in the first half. As ball's at midfield, it's going to be Warren with possession. Here's Maggie Culver running around trying to switch things up on the possession mark. It's Ava Danapoli for Warren. Ball's at midfield, 15:30 to go in the first half of play here. As that ball is kicked out of bounds, looks like Deerfield will retain possession here. For Deerfield, it's going to be a goal kick for Ruby Levy, the mid-junior. Time of the goal kick is 15 minutes on the dot. As that goal kick's going to go all the way to the 35.
It's a nice boot.
It's going to be Warren getting the ball.
Oh. Lauren Gottlieb should have the routine save there and does. Just under 15 minutes, like you said. It's a very fast game.
As there's an impressive kick from Lauren Gottlieb going all the way to the 45. You know, a lot of these girl soccer players have a lot of leg power, which I think with the boy soccer players, which gives them an opportunity to be a kicker, punter in football.
Yeah, in the game now for the Warriors, senior number 12, Maggie Culver.
As there's a shot
Warrior
on goal
goal
from Deerfield, and that's good. That's a Warrior goal for Emily Fox. While her first 2 shots weren't successful, she figured out what she needs to do, and she is ending the shutout. Put it on the board. Captain Emily Fox. And, you know, I'd also give that mistake to the goalie as well. Definitely could have saved that one and kind of tipped it off their finger there.
Yeah, kind of just let that one go. And as we said earlier in the game, one of the two is going to have to give up Warren's stellar defense all year or Deerfield's stellar offense all year. And as of right now, it's looking like the Warrior offense is prevailing at the 14-minute mark of the first half.
But it's Emily Fox, time of the goal, 14-10, breaking the silence for the game.
Warriors' 5th shot of the game. They are now 1 for 5 with goals. But more importantly, they are up on Warren, who, according to Max Preps, is a higher-ranked team. Warriors
Oh, but
trying to
about 30
disprove
spots
that
higher,
today.
yeah.
What?
About 30 spots better.
Yeah. I think that's an attest to their strength of schedule. But also, I mean, they are a very good they are a very good soccer program. You can't take anything away from them.
As that ball is kicked out of bounds by Deerfield, Warren will have the corner kick. Looks like Warren making a little switch on who's going to have that after a miscommunication. For Warren, it's going to be Angelica Amiskita. She plays defense, number 13. As the clock is still running, 12:50 will be the time of the corner kick. As Warren tries to get that in the goal, and it's going to be stopped on defense for Deerfield. For Deerfield, it's Cassidy Storman, making Lauren Gottlieb's day a little bit easier on the defensive side. Warren will have yet another corner kick. This time for Warren, they're switching up. It's going to be Reese Mertens, the mid, taking the corner kick. Here's the kick from Mertens. That's going to be saved right there by Lauren Gottlieb as she missed the trajectile on that one. As Lauren Gottlieb's kick is going to go all the way to the 44. It's going to be Deerfield recovering the kick for Deerfield. It's Emily Fox, who has the solo goal of the game. Emily Fox is thrown to the ground. Referee will blow the whistle. And looks like he's a little frustrated with Emily Fox there.
Warriors going to try and push it here. Ball just kind of staying there. Warriors outnumbered. Emily Fox, 5 around 1. Warriors call for more reinforcements. They get it. Now it's going to be a 4-on-5. Simone Kriz gets that. Going to try and center it and does. Has to get a Maddie Culver. That side judge has his hand up, and it's going to be, I believe, a foul on the Warriors.
Looks like there will be some sort of penalty on Deerfield. Clock is still running. 10:20 on the clock. It's going to be Warren with the ball. Taking a look at the statistics on the board. Deerfield, 5 shots on goal, 4 saves, 2 corners, and 2 fouls. While looking at the away team, Warren, 4 shots on goal, 4 saves, 3 corners, and 2 fouls. It's Deerfield with possession here, as we are at the 10-minute mark of the first half.
You know, these last few minutes have really slowed down lately, especially for how fast the first, I'd say 20, 25 minutes went. I think this has been a lot slower of a 10 to 5 minute mark than, like I said, the earlier about 20 minutes. But still very good soccer, 2 highly competitive teams, and a great night here in Deerfield. May 12th. Seniors' last day of school for Deerfield, and this is a Deerfield lineup that consists of about 8 or 9 seniors. So a lot of them had their last full day of school today.
As there's Warren's goalie stopping the ball. For Warren, it's their sophomore goalie, Emma Megerly. They also have another goalie on the bench, Audrey Groth.
Something I noticed while looking at this Warriors roster, actually, is that I don't know if it's not listed here, but they don't have an extra goalie.
So I think they have an emergency goalie, kind of like kickers in the NFL. And as there's a save by Lauren Gottlieb. It's time of the save, 8:30. Don't take my word for it, but I want to say Dara Carson could be the emergency goalie. I did a lot of women's soccer last year, and just thinking about it, I know Lauren was the goalie, but I can picture last year or 2 years ago, I can picture Dara being in goalie or maybe being listed as goalie. I remember 2 years ago it would be, they had I can't think of her name. She's a year older than me, so she'd be a sophomore going to junior of college. Anyways, they had another girl who was older, and she was the starting goalie while Lauren was a freshman.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that name, but I can't.
Oh, it's at the tip of my tongue. I had a gym class with her too.
Ooh, then you probably should know.
I definitely should know this name, and I'm mad at myself for not knowing. I usually know a lot of names.
Yeah, I'm trying to think as well. I never really did any soccer games 2 years ago. So
No, I definitely can remember. I did a lot of scoreboard and spotting for soccer 2 seasons ago. Uh,
yeah, if you find out that name,
it'll come to me right after the stream ends. It'll come to me. I could tell you that.
yeah, probably.
As here's Deerfield with the ball. 7 minutes to go in the first half of play here. Current score update brought to you by At Properties. Deerfield 1 on Warren's 0.
Yeah, so who knows? I mean, we'll see what happens here.
Here's Warren with
If
the ball
you
on
get
a
that
breakaway.
name, may as well say it. But off the crossbar of the goalpost.
I'm not sure if that name's going to come to me, but now you've got me intrigued. I'm going to do a little research on the roster from that season, but you've definitely got me intrigued.
You know,
right now.
maybe you don't get it here figured out during the halftime break, but hopefully, we find it here in the next 6 minutes or so.
Here it is, Isabella Davila. That's what I was thinking of.
Yes.
So I had a gym class with her my junior year. She was the goalkeeper for Deerfield. And then Lauren Gottlieb would have been the backup as a freshman that year. But once Isabella graduated, Lauren took over the starting spot as a sophomore.
Yeah, there's a little bit of history with her in the football team, actually.
With who?
Isabella.
Oh, let's hear it.
I think this would have been last year, maybe? Because that would have been her senior year, right? Or that would have been 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
She's a year older than I am.
I could be wrong here, but I'm trying to do this off of memory because this was 2 years ago, so sorry in advance if I, botch anything. But she wanted to do a game of the football team versus the GSOC team. And it never happened, but she was talking all of this about how they could beat us and things like that. But then again, the game never happened, so we'll never know what actually happened. We think the football team would have won, but we really don't know.
So it would have been the football team playing soccer
Against the soccer team.
I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be honest. That the girls' soccer program at Deerfield is very competitive. I don't know if I'd be so comfortable with the football team winning that one. I think the girls' soccer team would definitely put up a fight for
I don't think it would be a fight. Deerfield, though, does have the football team, at least that year, had some soccer players. Obviously, they were in different seasons. But we had people who played soccer for a long time.
I thought you were going to say she wanted to play on the football team. I know there was a girl last year.
Yeah, there's a freshman kicker on the team now.
This year or last year?
This year, Jackie Silverman's a freshman. I was actually out here the other day. I believe it was Sunday, so about a week ago. I came out here. There was a Pegasus tryout, but I came here after I was umpiring a DYBA baseball game, and she was out here. It was her. It was Aura Immersion, who is the one of the punters at Florida. It's a guy by the name of Barney Moore, who punted at Penn State, was an All-American, had a bunch of NFL draft looks, ended up not getting drafted. Tommy Guchal was at Deerfield now. I believe two of the underclassmen kickers, and then Jackie. And the difference that I saw from Jackie, I worked with her a lot freshman year. And I was also working with a freshman long snapper last year.
So what year is she now?
She's going to be a sophomore.
Okay. Next year she'll be a sophomore.
Next year she'll be a sophomore.
Okay.
And
is she in the soccer program?
She is in the soccer program.
Okay.
She's number 15 for, I believe, the freshman team. Don't quote me on that. But she does play soccer. That's where she got her big leg background. And yeah, so, but the improvement that I saw from her from last year to when I saw her the other day was like night and day. It was unbelievable. I mean, you could really tell that she was putting in a lot of work. Even during soccer season, she was putting in work for the football season. It just shows the true dedication and hard work that she has. As we're just under 2.5 minutes here, Warriors up 1-0 on Warren. A little update. Warriors 6 shots, 5 saves, 2 corners and 2 fouls. Warren 5 shots, 5 saves, 3 corners and 2 fouls. Pretty evenly matched up game though, I'd say. I mean, I think you can attest to this. Warren really held control for the first about 10 minutes. They had a lot of the offensive play. And then once Deerfield started to get in their own groove and started to figure out the way Warren was going to play, they started attacking their holes and really playing more of their sense of soccer.
Yeah, and I mean, I think pretty much from the point where Deerfield scored that goal with Emily Fox, you could really see the shift of lead changes. Here's your 2-minute warning from the press box, 2-minute warning, Deerfield up 1-0. But as I was mentioning, once Emily Fox scored that goal for Deerfield, you definitely can see a shift in momentum. This Deerfield offense has sparked a little bit more, not so much on a goal aspect, but from more of an aspect of production on the defensive side, not letting the ball go much towards Lauren on her side of the field, and taking more time on the offensive side of the field. You see Simone Chris was put into the game. Sarah Goldstone was put into the game. That's the veteran senior presence, and I think having those on the field to conduct the offense is a big change. You know, Simone plays mid, and Sarah plays mid, so when they're on the offensive side, it's a huge difference. I see there's a huge kick from Simone Chris. It's going to travel away to the goalie from the mid.
Yeah, I mean, this has been
1-minute warning right here from Adams
been
Field.
really good soccer, though.
It has, and I think I think girls soccer is one of the most enjoyable sports to watch, in my opinion, especially at Deerfield High School athletics. I mean, year in and year out, this varsity program is stellar, and a huge shout out to head coach Grady, Dr. Grady, and assistant coaches Mr. Crane and Coach Simo. But they do a tremendous job each season with the girls soccer program. As here's 15 seconds to go on the clock for the first half of play. It's Warren with the ball, turning it over to Deerfield.
Now, the real
10
question
seconds.
is going to be how much extra time is added, if there is any. I don't know if high school soccer has extra time. I don't think there would be anyways because there really was no break in play.
Nope.
And it looks like there will be no extra time added at the end of the first half. Warriors 1, Warren 0.
As we'll be back after this 10-minute halftime break. Dylan Traeger and Dylan Zuber from the press box, Adams Field, Deerfield, Illinois, on this starry Friday night. As here we are for the second half of play at Deerfield High School's Paul Adams Field. 40 minutes of Warrior versus Blue Devil soccer. Doesn't get much better than this. Friday under the lights, Dylan.
No better feeling. I know, especially as a football player, there's no better feeling than when it's about.
Oh, you play football?
I do. I did. I don't anymore. I used to. But I know as a football player, running out after halftime and seeing all the lights on.
Are we going to see a little bit of a Dylan Zuber practice squad action at Minnesota?
We're not going to see practice squad action, but we are going to see Dylan Zuber on the field.
What about a little scout team?
I mean, that's a possibility. You know, if they need guys, I'll step in and whatever. But, like, hypothetically, I'll be doing the coaching on the sideline and not on the field, if that makes sense.
All right. Well, if you need a mentor, let me know.
Yeah. You know, I will be probably doing some work with some of the players. Like, someone that I know there's going to be one of the punters here next year, and I told him, you know, if he ever needs a long snapper to get some work in, I'll be there.
So you guys stay pretty fit then?
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to use their workout facilities, so
okay.
It'll be a really good experience.
I mean, as long as I get a Minnesota hoodie out of it, adult large, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'll see
I
what
go for a jersey too.
I'll see what jersey's a little bit of a reach.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do about the sweatshirt. I'm sure I can get you a sweatshirt. I'm going up middle of June.
Middle of July.
Yeah, it's actually a month between June and July. Middle of July.
As there's a great save in the goal by Lauren Gottlieb, who I'm going to give a huge, huge shout out to. Lauren Gottlieb having a fantastic game today. Been a brick wall in net as she has been all season. A huge key to Deerfield's success throughout their season this year and last year. Good to know that she's coming back for her senior year next year. And we'll have one more good season with her on Deerfield, and then they'll have to look for their new goalkeeper.
Yeah, she's going to be someone, obviously a household name right now, but it's going to be a household name again the following year. This Deerfield.
And towards women's basketball, too, with all the seniors departing. You wonder if she could be a starting player, a key player in that rotation.
Oh, here's a one-on-one grade A chance for Warren.
As a whistle is blown.
Wow. Looks to be offsides.
A nice break there for Deerfield.
But, yeah, I mean, I'll see what I can do with that sweatshirt. I don't know why I wouldn't be able to, You ever come up to Minnesota?
I'll be there.
I know a guy who might be able to get you a sweatshirt or get you a little tour. We'll see.
All right. I think I know guys well, as there's a nice goal kick from Deerfield. As that ball is booted back to the 30. It's Warren with possession. Another boot from Deerfield all the way to the Warren bench.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting how Deerfield girls basketball fares next year. I mean, obviously you have Nikki Kirstein and Aubrey Galvin.
That's not much other returning players.
And then you have Kate Trella, who played solid rotational minutes for the Warriors, so she'll start next year. She was actually just ranked the 90th player in the state, I believe, of the junior class.
Is she looking to play college?
I don't know if she is, but I mean, she does have the rank on Prep Hoops.
If she was ranked at 90, where's Galvin and Kirstein being ranked?
I think they're 2 and 3. I think Galvin is 2. Kirstein is 5. I could be wrong, but I think that. But yeah, Deerfield, you lose of the starters of your first 7 rotational players. You lose 4 of the 7 in what's it called? As here's just a back to a kicker or to the goalie, but you lose Lexi Kirstein, who's going to Vermont. You lose Olivia Current, who's going to UW Whitewater, and you lose Morgan Current, who is going to Iowa, but not for basketball. She's going just for regular school. And you lose Brenna Burns, who was a rotational piece, kind of a glue girl of that team. And so there's 4 of the top 7 rotational minutes for that team. So there's going to be a lot of minutes up for grabs for the Warriors basketball team next year.
Yeah, and you start looking at the rest of the program, trying to think what can they do to start developing players to keep the Deerfield girls program a top program in the state for years to come, and not just while these girls are on the team right now.
A lot of that is a high attest to Coach Keith, though, one of the top coaches in the state and in the area.
I'd agree with that for sure. As here we are at the 35-minute mark, Deerfield still at the lead at 1-0. It is getting pretty dark. There is a kick for the goal, way over, heading towards the trees.
About 8:10 here. We have 34 minutes left and counting in the second half as some of the umbrellas start to come up. We see a couple of them going up in front of us.
For the 34-minute mark, Deerfield lead 1-0. It's Dara Carson with the ball at midfield for Deerfield.
So, with all these umbrellas coming, really makes you think, is this going to be a different game here coming down the stretch, having to deal with the rain, or because it's soccer, it doesn't really happen and doesn't really get affected by the rain. So that's going to be something to keep an eye on here for both teams moving forward.
As it's Warren with the ball right now. And looks like it is starting to rain out here. All the umbrellas are opening up as got a nice crowd tonight despite the cruddy weather. A little cold out, a little rainy out, but good to see that the fans are pretty committed to this team. This has been a big night of broadcasting for Mr. Zuber and I. We had a varsity girls lacrosse game to cover right before this.
Yes, that was a very long
As there's
game.
a nice saving goal from Lauren Gottlieb. That's going to go down as her 6th save of the game. No goals let up for Gottlieb today. As there's a nice punt from her. That ball's going to bounce at the 50 off a girl's head. And she's got a very impressive leg kick, too. Definitely able to get that ball way out of there. As it's Warren with the ball for Warren, it's Lorelli Barajas. Another saving goal from Gottlieb. She's going to kick that one out to the 45. 32 minutes to go. Deerfield 1, Warren 0. So right now it's Deerfield with the ball towards the Warren net as that ball is going to be punted way out of there. And that's actually going to hit the golf cart on the warning track. Replacement ball coming in. 31 and a half minutes to go here. And for Deerfield, it's Ruby Levy checking in. She plays mid. She is a junior. Already seen a good amount of playing time today.
Something I did notice, Deerfield still all down. Warren bench still all standing. I wonder if that's been kind of happening this whole game. I wonder at what point do Warren's players' legs start to,
I also wonder if it's a
tense up 'cause of
coaching
the
standard,
cold.
too. Because I know for at least for baseball, when I played, I had a lot of coaches that would make us stand up the entire game and cheer on our teammates, and that could be the case with Warren. Well, I had some coaches who, didn't care what we did when we were on the game. And pretty much once you start sitting down, you start disengaging a bit. But when you're standing up, that you got your eyes on the game. As here's Lauren Gottlieb running out of the goal and kicking that all the way down to the 50.
Yeah, I think like you're right. It's kind of a coaching thing. You really don't know what's going to happen.
I'd say
until it
you're more
happens.
engaged if you're standing up watching the game. Once you start sitting down, you're going to start talking and maybe twiddling your thumbs. But that's what I'd say. I mean, if I'm the coach, I'd want my players standing up and cheering the whole game. As we're at the 30-minute mark in the second half, Deerfield 1 on Warren 0. If you're hungry after this cold game, make sure to drive right down Waukegan, 2 minutes up the road. Hot slice of pizza at Rosati's.
And some very good wings there, too, you know.
How about the Zuber breadsticks?
Oh, those get that and a little bit of red juice from the Mio, and you're set for the night.
You're all set. Great way to wrap up a cold night at Adams Field.
I mean, there's really nothing better than a little bit of red. Am I right or am I right?
You're definitely right. Color of a warrior.
Also, that drumstick ice cream is pretty good, too.
It was. As here's Deerfield, Sophia Pizer.
Ooh.
And there's a nasty fall for Warren. You could even hear it from the parents in front of us. 29-15 to go in the second half. As here's a breakaway for Warren. It's Ava Denapoli. That's going to get taken away. The stellar Deerfield defense coming back in to kick it in all night.
You know, I have a lot of memories on this sideline.
Say it again?
I have a lot of memories on this sideline here for the.
I'm sure you do.
Both really good and really bad.
Oh, and there's
nice
some great defense from Deerfield, knocking any possibility of a goal out. For Deerfield, that was Ruth Prass, the defender, junior. A stellar play from her as we were at the 28-30 mark in the second half.
I believe, I could be wrong. I believe she has a sister at Minnesota, but I could be wrong.
Well, she has a sister that was my grade.
Lila Press?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so she was in my grade. I went to middle and high school with her.
Yes.
I don't know where she's at, though.
She's at Minnesota.
All right, so you'll see her next year. Don't be a stranger.
You know what? If she knows you, then she knows me.
All right.
A friend of you is a friend of me.
That's fair. There you go.
And a friend of me is hopefully someone that you know.
Hopefully.
I mean, let's be honest. If you know them, then they're relevant. As there's a little foul there, little stoppage in play.
No stoppage.
No, but like a little pause in the action.
Yes, clock runs still.
Under 28 minutes to go.
I'm almost ready to
Deerfield.
ask people in front of us if they can lower their umbrellas. Constructing my view.
I got a perfect view up here. I got this.
Well,
I got this little thing right
you're
here.
lucky to be about 6 feet tall.
That's shit. I'm a Jewish 6 feet.
I'm a good 5'9".
You're a Jewish, Jewish 5'8", 5'9".
I'm a regular 5'9".
Ruby Levy there.
27-15 in the second half of play.
You know, the thing about this is soccer is it's a year-round sport. You know, you have football in the fall, you have baseball.
There's a great
nice
save from
there.
Lauren Gottlieb.
And if you don't play club baseball, then that's in, like, the spring.
And that shot is shot from Warren's Addison Stansiak, sophomore. And Warren will have a corner kick.
You know, every
shot by
time.
Angelica Emmy's Kita.
It could be just me as Warren. Deerfield, great defense to get the header to the corner out of the way. Emily Fox, 3-on-1, trying to get it out to Odara Carson, who's up on attack. But, you know, every time they say Angelica, you know what that makes me think of?
Huh.
It's the
Rugrats?
No, you know in Hamilton when they're like, Angelica?
Never seen it.
You've never seen Hamilton?
Never seen it.
Well,
I don't intend to either.
You know, I'm not big into theater and Broadway, but I will say
this is
that.
The second reference you've made to me about theater.
What was the first?
Something about Dear Evan Hansen.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
That was last week.
That was last week at your house.
Yeah, so that's the second reference you've made with me within a week.
Yeah, well, theater, no, but this is like
big
Hamilton's
theater guy,
good.
Dylan Zuber.
I do enjoy myself a nice play, but
it's a big nap for me if I go.
no, I thought that was going to be the case with Hamilton, but then it actually turned out to be pretty good.
All right. Well,
And if Brooke's big into theater, so if you got time, watch it on YouTube.
No
or
time.
If you're
very busy.
If you're ever bored laying in your bed instead of watching White Sox baseball, that'll put you to sleep. You can watch Hamilton or watch Evan Hansen.
All right.
But every time, you say Angelica, it makes me think of a line in Hamilton. They go, Angelica, Eliza, and Piggy, or whatever it is. And it's just kind of funny. A little funny connection there.
We're at the 25-minute mark here. As here's a breakaway for Warren. 1-on-1. It's Warren going up against Lauren Gottlieb, and Deerfield's defense.
Nice
Lauren
play.
Gottlieb will take that one down. Lauren Gottlieb single-handedly saving the game potentially right there. As it was a 1-on-1 for Deerfield, it was Sophia Pizer on defense there guarding Warren. But I'll tell you, Lauren Gottlieb has looked terrific out there today.
Wow, nice shot. Actually, no, it was not. Good idea, but just a little bit to the left. We are under the 25-minute mark here. Warriors up 1-0 still, and this cold and frisky Friday night.
As we're at the 24-minute mark, as that ball is going towards Lauren Gottlieb. Warren trying to keep the ball in play. For Warren, it's Arlie Melkor saving the ball. It's Warren with possession. Right now it's Sophia Okren with the ball. Okren over to Angelica. That's your person.
It is.
That's your pick. Over to Audrey Groth.
I don't want to say pick. I just say that's nice
There's another
play
save
by Lauren Gottlieb.
Gottlieb.
Nice play.
I don't think that shot had any chance of getting in there with the way the vertical was shot at, but a great way for Deerfield to stop Warren's offensive part, as that one is already kicked about 50 yards away, 55 yards. As it's Deerfield with the ball on offense. Looks like a couple subs going on here. For Warren, Yasmin Lindsay, the sophomore, number 5, playing mid at the scoring table, getting ready to check in here. As we have 22 and a half minutes left in the second half of play.
Looks like Simone Chris' Warriors. Emily Fox, 2-on-1 for the Warriors. Fox and Culver, offsides. Warren retains possession.
Clock still running at 22 minutes here.
Nice play there by Culver. He gets it to Ruby. Back to Culver. Watch it to Fox. There's Fox in the middle. Has 3 Blue Devils around her. Good. Ooh.
And Warren's going to take
Takes
over
a
that
trip
one.
and fall there.
Ooh, and she's grimacing over her knee a little bit, limping a bit. 21-minute mark here in the second half of play as Fox is back up and running for Deerfield. As it's Warren with the ball. And there's Simone Chris stopping it away from Warren. She's going to kick it down, looking for Deerfield to have a chance here. And Warren's going to take it right back over.
Something about that knee, you see senior Marissa Siciliano has something on her knee as well. Looks like a brace of some sort, just something to keep an eye on. She's been playing with that all year, but still something to keep an eye on.
I mean, I'd say definitely a hard sport to stay completely healthy at. As here's a breakaway for Deerfield. Oh, and the referees are going to put the flag up. That could have been a big chance for Deerfield there. They had a 2-on-1. Here's Warren with the ball. For Warren, it's Mia Gloria. 20-10 in the half. As here's Deerfield taking an offensive possession for Deerfield. It's Maggie Culver getting it over. As this ball's been stuck in the middle of the field for the last few minutes here. Not much action going on in the second half. We are past the 20-minute mark. Final minutes of the game coming in.
Good spot here for the Warriors. Up 1-0 with just under 20 minutes to go.
That's right there. Maggie Culver's going to take it all the way to Warren's goalie, Emma.
Two very talented
McGurley.
teams here. May 12th, Friday night, about 8:30 on the clock. The clock set time is about 8:30. Sorry, I butchered that a little bit. Clock says about 19 minutes left, so gonna be a good final 20 minutes here at Adams Field. You know, decent amount of fans, a lot of.
And here we go. Here's Deerfield with the ball for Deerfield. A wide open
Fox
look,
goal!
and that's a goal. Was that Emma Fox there?
It was Emily Fox, her second of the game.
You're right. That's Emily Fox with her second goal of the game. Had an easy breakaway. Had one-on-one with her and the goalie. Put in a nice low roller to give Deerfield an even more advantage at 2-0. Time of the goal is 19 minutes. And almost makes you think, could this be the dagger for Deerfield?
I mean, I don't want to say that, but it might be, but you don't want to make any assumptions because as it's been said before, I mean, you may not have heard this, but I've been told this my whole life that in soccer, in hockey, in baseball, whatever it is, a 2-goal, a 2-run, whatever lead is the hardest lead to keep in all of sports. So that's obviously got to be on the back of the mind of Warrior players. They want to try and get one more. That would be the dagger. Great defense by the Warriors and Lauren Gottlieb. Another great save. Wow, what a play.
And she got lucky on that second one. That one went right through her fingers and fortunately landed in front of her for her to save. 18:15 on the clock as Deerfield's up 2-0.
Great defense. Warren, honestly, though, even though Deerfield's controlling the score and getting up 2-0, it's really been two different breakaways. Besides that, a lot of this game has been Warren. Really just
for sure.
Controlling it offensively and defensively, both sides of the ball.
18 minutes on the clock here. As it looks like Warren looking to make a sub. It's going to be number 20 for Warren. That's going to be Caitlin McCoy. Haven't seen too much of her in the game today. She was not a starter, and I believe this is her first appearance in the game today. 17:15 on the clock. Deerfield 2 on Warren's 0. That score update's brought to you by Alpha Graphics, one of Deerfield Athletics' sponsors. As here's Deerfield trying to take possession over here towards Warren's goal. As Warren's going to kick it out of bounds. It's going to be Deerfield on the throw-in. For Deerfield, that's going to be Cassidy Storman with the overhead throw-in. Here's Cassidy Storman lining up a good throw, and there's a big throw right to Warren. I'm not sure what her plan of attack was with that throw, but here's Deerfield trying to keep possession with it here. For Deerfield, it's going to be Sophie Pizer. And Warren's going to have a breakaway here for Warren. It's Emily Parkos, and she's going to kick it right to Deerfield. Deerfield taking back possession on Warren's breakaway. Warren's going to have a pass in here. For Warren, it's going to be Angelica Amaskita. And looks like there's a little bit of delay of game here. Clock is still running. As Caitlin McCoy enters the game for Warren for the first time. Here's the overhead pass in from Warren. Warren has the ball at the 10. And they're going to lose it to Deerfield. That's Cassidy Storman playing some great defense as Deerfield kicks it away. Deerfield bringing the ball all the way to midfield. For Deerfield, that's Emily Fox, it looks like. And here's Warren taking it away. 15:30 to go in the second half of play here. As Warren is going to kick that ball out of play. and Deerfield will take possession. It's going to be a pass in for Deerfield coming from Cassidy Storman. There's the throw in from Cassidy, and there's a whistle. Clock still running. Looks like they're going to have her redo it. Not exactly sure why. Here's attempt number 2 from Cassidy Storman. Another pass in.
Great box out there by Fox.
As that's thrown to Emily Fox. As she's dribbling around, she's being 1-on-3 here.
Oh, that's a nice move.
Right around defenders, and that ball's taken away from Warren. Now it's Warren on the takeaway. Deerfield's defense, Cassidy Storman, learn the name as she stops it down. Deerfield taking back their possession. It's Jesse Fisher for Deerfield. Kicking the ball out of play is Warren. Deerfield will retain their possession. It's Cassidy Storman on the throw-in. You can definitely see she's got some of the stronger arms, and Deerfield definitely points to her as their specialist for the throw-ins. As she's going to throw it to Emily Fox, who's going to give it off to Jesse Fisher. Deerfield 2, Warren 0, 14:30 to go in the second half of play here, as the ball is on the Warren goal side. As Warren's going to take over possession here. There's a nice kick from Warren's Maya Martinek.
No, it's my first time up here in the press box, and I gotta say, it's really nice up here.
This isn't your first time in the press box?
No, like doing a broadcast in a game is.
I like it. It's very quiet. I mean, compared to baseball and softball, you're going to stay dry up here. You're not going to get much of a tan.
I worked the football game in the fall, and I was just doing the scoreboard as a volunteer thing. But besides that, I mean, I helped just watch a track meet up here, like last year or sometime in the winter. I think it was last year.
Oh, this is it.
But, I mean, this is
where the magic happens for Deerfield Athletics.
It's the first time I've really been up here for a solid amount of time, and it's a nice experience up here. It's very warm. I will say that's a very nice thing when it's warm up here.
This has been my office for the past couple years now.
Great save by Lauren Gottlieb. I do prefer my office in the Warrior Gym up there in the corner. But
I think the difference is also, though, in the Warrior Gym, like there's so much echoing and there's so much sound from coming up from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
And at least when I'm on the PA, I don't like how my voice necessarily sounds in the Warrior Gym. I think it echoes, and it's pretty loud in there.
Played a little hot potato there.
Speaker system isn't great.
No.
Broadcasting, it's super loud. I think when you're in the press box, you can really focus in. There's no distractions when you're working. As here's Warren putting a shot up, and that's going to go way over the goal.
Field goal is good, though. For those of you that are counting that, that's field goal is good.
For
I
Warren.
believe their third field goal of the night.
You keeping track?
I think I got 3.
That's Yasmin Lindsay getting a field goal, extra point, except that will not count. But as I was saying, I like it up here. Definitely can stay focused. There's no outside sound.
You also kind of got a whole view of the whole campus. I mean, you got
view's great.
You got the baseball field.
Everyone looks up to me when I'm up here.
That's true. You are looking down on everyone except for people that would be up in the top if there are people filming or something like that. But usually no one's up there, so you are the king of the hill.
Here's 11:30 on the clock as Deerfield has the breakaway possession. It's Simone Kriz getting open and getting the ball. She's going to pass it right back to Warren. Things are slowing down. Girls are walking. As it's Warren with a huge kick all the way down to the corner. As I mentioned, it is Warren with the ball.
I'm almost better off sitting in the chair. I got this little beam in front of me that is really knocking off my line of sight.
I've been sitting down since 3:30 in the press box.
Yeah, I mean, I have too.
I got to stand up for a bit.
I have too, Been here since probably 3:15, but, it's a good day. Bring the chair down a little. There we go. There's the money view. Gonna close this box up.
Game is winding down here. Just under 11 minutes to play. As here is a breakaway. It's Emily Fox of Deerfield with the 1-on-2. She's at the 30. And she is tripped to the ground by Warren. She's holding her back a little bit.
Correction, that is Bella Krumenacher, not Emily Fox.
And for Warren, that is Maya Martinek pushing over Bella. Bella Krumanacher, yes.
It's a good name.
It's interesting. Freshman.
I like that they have the pronunciations on the sheet.
Well, yep, it's a big help.
That's key. That's key in the long run, Mr. Traeger. I remember having to do a basketball game, and the winner's a good shot high. Oh, almost great save by the goalie. Jesse Fisher almost with the goal, but does not get it. A little bit. Great defense.
I'm here just under 10 minutes of play in the second half here, 9:45 on the clock, as it is pitch black now outside. I would say, besides the stadium lights, it is pitch black out.
Yeah, I mean, that is what happens at night in Deerfield on
I'm
May
just
12th.
updating the people who are watching on their TVs.
Yeah.
And here is a Deerfield
We are
Warrior
under 10
corner
minutes.
kick.
Warriors, coached by Rich Grady, assisted by Mr. Crane and Coach Simo. Warren, coached by Ryan McCabe, assisted by Heather Crawford and Jason Ahonen.
So that corner kick was from Simone Kriz. There's a shot on
Oh,
goal from
field
Deerfield.
goal
And that's
is
going to go way over and outside.
That is Ryan Emery.
That's correct. Her older sister Erin was a Deerfield varsity soccer player for a few
Indeed,
seasons.
She was.
I know I called her name out on the broadcast in the PA a few times.
She was a big contributor for the team last year. Sure, she was missed, but team is playing well as of right now. Hoping to not let up here in the final 8.5 of play. Now, if you're Coach Grady, what are you trying to not really instill, but trying to tell your players here with 8.5 left, knowing that you're up by 2?
You know, if I'm Coach Grady here, I'm focusing more on the defense and just keeping the ball away from Lauren's side of things. I mean, you see he's doing a great job of that here. Here's 2 substitutions. For Deerfield, as you might have heard, it's Dara Carson and Katie Dennison, starters coming back in. 2 crucial players who play mid and forward. But you definitely got to see, I think starters should be in right now for the last few minutes here as we are at 7:30, making sure the ball is staying away from Lauren. Can't risk letting any shots be given up here. And just keep your best offensive players on the field so in that purpose you can keep the ball on Warren's goal. What do you think here, Don?
Yeah, I think you're right. You want to really keep the ball their side of the 50, and I believe that's the north side of the 50. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't really know my directions real well, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say the north side.
Never eat soggy waffles.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is the north side. I don't really know, though.
You're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
That's a very not necessary thing anymore.
Well,
Directional compass.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all technology now.
As there's Dara Carson kicking it away, making sure that ball is staying away from Lauren Gottlieb.
But as I was saying, you want to keep it on their side of the 50, and you really don't want to you really don't want to help out Lauren and get the ball in Deerfield territory. There's a break by Emily Fox trying to get her third. No, turned over.
For Deerfield, it's Leah Ryan, the mid-senior, coming in for her first appearance of the game. So you can start to see Coach Grady letting some of the other players get in comfortable. And it's Simone Kriz taking the corner kick for Deerfield. Running clock, 6-minute mark here at the game. Deerfield 2 and Warren 0. And if Deerfield could manage to pull up this upset, this could be a big victory for them as Deerfield's unofficially ranked around 60th in the state, while Warren's unofficially at around 32. I believe it's 32 for Warren and Deerfield for 64 in the state, unofficially. As here's Deerfield with the ball at the 5:30 mark on the Deerfield side.
time. Not on Warren's side. Is not a friend of the. It's not a friend of Warren of the Blue Devils. And yes, it is the Blue Devils, not the Blue Demons.
And here's Simone Kriz with another corner kick. Deerfield definitely points to her quite often for those, as she's got more power for distance and accuracy. As we're at the 5-minute mark here in the second half of play, time is running out for Warren's comeback as there is a shot on goal from
That's good if the lacrosse
Emma
net
Fox.
is the goal, but
Oh.
we're playing soccer and not lacrosse.
And here's a sub for Warren. Looks to be Alex Brock. When you're up here in the press box, they've got those horizontal stripes on their jersey, and it really blends in with the numbers on the front. Bit difficult to read. As we're at the 4-minute and 30-second mark in the second half, Deerfield 2 on Warren 0.
Deerfield in the all black. I really like those jersey combo, the all black.
I do too. I'm really for as a broadcaster aspect and announcer aspect. I'm a fan of what's easy to read for number aspect.
And the white on black seems pretty easy. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
They've got the blue numbers on the white jersey, very easy to read. But when you turn the front of them, and they've got the stripes on the front, makes it very difficult. Deerfield, the white numbers aren't the easiest, especially from the front, but
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a smaller number on the front.
yeah, I'm a big fan of easy numbers to read when you're as far as I am.
You know, I don't think when designing the jerseys they're going to think, oh, I wonder which easiest going to be for Dylan Traeger to read.
Nope, they're not, but it would be great if they did think like that.
Oh, wow, and Dara Carson a little aggressive there on the shove from behind. It's going to out of bounds roll Devils possession. We are just at about the 3-minute mark here. And if you're Warren, I mean, you really got to go. You can't. Deerfield's defense has been suffocating, but you really can't play this conservative brand of soccer. You really got to try and attack. Give the ball to your forwards and let them try and work some magic, because that's exactly what they do.
As we're at the 3-minute mark at 2:50 right now, Warren really has little time to make any sort of comeback. They got to score a goal in the next minute or so here. And with the way Deerfield's playing, I'm expecting this to be a Deerfield shutout.
Oh, ooh.
As that looks like it's going to be a Deerfield goal kick. And taking a look on the field.
Sarah Goldstone, it looks like.
No, that's going to be Madeline Stevens with the goal kick. Hate to do it to you, Dylan.
Well,
as we're at the 2-minute mark in the game. And with that being said, it looks like Deerfield's going to take the victory today, advancing to 14-5-2 on the season.
Yeah, something I noticed here for Warren is they could never really get going offensively. They never really found their rhythm. They had that little stretch early in the game where it was all Warren offensively, but then once Emily Fox put that first goal in the net, it was kind of all Deerfield from there. And we talked about it pregame. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. It was going to be which of the two factors was going to prevail. Was it going to be Warren's stellar defense all year, which only have given up 20 goals, or is it going to be Deerfield's great offense, which has scored 54, now 56 goals, if they don't score any more here with about under a minute left?
That's right. But just looking at the statistics, Deerfield improves to 14-5-2 on the season, extending their win streak to 2 and their home record to 8-3-1. And looking at Warren, they're going to fall to 9-5-3, snapping their 3-game win streak. And you can just, as I mentioned before the game, their away record and their away games have been terrible, as they're going to fall to 2-5-3 on the season away. But this is a really much-needed Deerfield victory, as they are looking to close the season towards the postseason, getting more wins, maybe on a winning streak. And beating a top team in the state in Warren is a huge victory. As here's 30 seconds on the clock as Deerfield wraps this one up.
I gotta ask who. I mean, there's really two options you can choose from. Probably leaning towards one, but who was your MVP for the Warriors tonight?
I think it's a really tough question. Obviously, you're going to go between Emily Fox or Lauren Gottlieb.
Yep.
But honestly, yes, Emily Fox had a lot of spotlight. I got to give the player of the game to Lauren Gottlieb as there's time expiring. My reason being, I think the goalie is essentially the most important part of the game because I think your defense here is going to outweigh your offense. If you don't give up any goals, you're statistically going to tie or win the game. And Lauren was just spectacular. Didn't let a complete shutout. No goals given up. And I think that needs more attention, how stellar that was. No goals, and it's a top 30 team in the state. That's my pick. Lauren Gottlieb, player of the game. Who do you have?
I mean, you said it perfectly. When I said it originally, it was gonna be between two people. It was gonna be either Lauren Gottlieb or Emily Fox, and I mean, you said it perfectly that I do think Lauren Gottlieb had a bigger. While, like you said, Emily Fox had the 2 goals and so on, I think Lauren Gottlieb had a bigger impact on this game.
As that's a wrap from Deerfield High School at Paul Adams Field on this dark Friday night. Deerfield takes the victory in this tough non-conference matchup against Warren by a score of 2-0. Taking a look at some of the stats from this game for Deerfield: 8 shots, 12 saves and goal. That's from Lauren Gottlieb. 6 corner kicks and 2 fouls. And taking a look at the visiting team, the Warren side, 12 shots on goal, 6 saves, 6 corners, and 4 fouls. But that's a wrap. Deerfield 2 on Warren 0. I'm your play-by-play announcer, Dylan Traeger, joined by color commentator Dylan Zuber. Signing off for tonight. Tomorrow morning, for you Warrior fans, Deerfield Warrior Baseball is hosting the Evanston Wildcats, who I believe are the second-ranked team in the state, in a baseball matchup. First pitch at 10:30. Dylan, who's on the mound for Deerfield tomorrow?
I believe it's going to be Owen Lacey. You really don't know what – I love Owen. Great kid. Hoping the best. And, yes, you did say that Evanston is the number 2 team in the state, and we are going to head out here. I'm Dylan Zuber here, joined by Dylan Traeger. Deerfield victorious 2-0. And you got anything else to say?
Deerfield soccer, a great night. Catch us tomorrow, Deerfield baseball.